I'm making apple crisp today for my best friend because she said that she was craving apple crisp, and we also talked about making like an apple crisp egg roll situation, like Cheesecake Factory, but I'm kind of egg rolled out because I was making those fried ranch things from the Minnesota State Fair. Anyways, we're just making some regular apple crisp. I've got my helper Max to help me out. You can peel your apples if you want to. I don't mind the skin, and I don't feel like peeling apples right now. But this is like a pretty standard apple crisp. Your grandma probably made something similar to this. A lot of people know a recipe similar to this, and mine's not too different. And I don't have an apple corer. Is that the right word? This is kind of a busy week for me, actually. I have some friends visiting from out of town for a concert. Then my brother and his girlfriend are coming and also bringing a friend. My other friend is visiting from out of town, so I'm just having a full house, which I love because I am always working from home, obviously, because this is my full-time job, and I'm so appreciative of all of you for helping me do that. And I love sharing my recipes, and I'm so thankful for everybody who's gotten a copy of my book. So thank you so much for everybody who's helped make this possible. So we're just chopping some apples. I did not grow these apples. They're from this fancy place in Minnesota called Target. I'm using Honey Crisp apples, but you could totally use like a Red Delicious, or I'm even a fan of a Gala apple. Okay, so I have a weird textural thing with apples. When I was younger, I could not eat a regular apple unless I purposely like bruised it. So I would sit there with an apple and bruise it so it was kind of like applesauce. I don't know what it is, but crunching into an apple, like just taking a bite, was, I don't want to say stressful, but it like irritated me. You know, like how some people have like a reaction to a certain sound? That sound for me was like nails on a chalkboard. Anyways, I've pretty much gotten over that. When I was younger in high school, my snack of choice was always popcorn. So I would always get like popcorn at night, like that was like my midnight snack or whatever. And I kind of like worked out this system, and people called me so weird for doing this, but I think people are starting to do it now. So I would take like my microwave popcorn, and I would, right after it's like hot out of the microwave, I would pop it right in the freezer, even though it was still hot. And then the butter would like melt to the popped popcorn, and it was so wonderful. And then I would also get like the extra buttery popcorn, so then that butter was stuck on the bags, and I would eat the butter off the side of the bag. It was great. Oh, I'm also making brownies because I joined an intramural sports because, you know, I'm in a new city, I'm trying to make friends. So I joined a sports team, and I'm bringing them brownies. We have like a team party to like hand out t-shirts. So I'm baking some brownies without nuts because I don't know if anybody has a nut allergy, and I hope nobody is allergic to chocolate, but it is a bunch of gay men, so who knows. Okay. Brownies are looking good. They're smelling good. Yeah. Can't wait to indulge. I did go on another date, and it was kind of a nice little change. We went and got a salad, so I think I'm gonna have to recreate that salad recipe. Okay, so we've got 5 to 6 apples. Let's add some vanilla, a little bit of allspice, some fresh nutmeg, some granulated sugar, maybe about 3 teaspoons to a 1/4 cup, because we want it to be sweet, but we're also going to make like a streusel topping that's like got the oatmeal and all that good stuff in it. And we have to have some cinnamon avi. Let's add a pinch of salt. And then our lemon. I've got seeds in my lemon, so I'm just going to strain it out with my hand. Okay, and then we're just going to give this a nice little jiggle around. We're just going to mix very carefully. Grab a 9x13, spray your baking dish. Add your apples as your bottom layer. You can also mix it a little bit in here too if you feel like you didn't get a good enough mix in your bowl. And I'm Adding all of that little sugar and seasoning. Lovely, lovely, lovely. 1 cup of flour. 1 cup of rolled oats. 1 cup of brown sugar or light brown sugar. Today we're using dark brown sugar. We're gonna add some more cinnamon, about 1 teaspoon to 2 teaspoons, and I'm also adding a little bit of granulated sugar. Then we're going to add some cold cubed butter. I'm using a good quality European butter because we're really going to taste the butter in this. But for like a lot of other baking things, I use like a pretty generic butter. But when butter is going to be like the star flavor, that's when I use a nicer quality butter. And here's like a little hack that I like to use. I like to cut it in my like little butter holding vessel. So cut it once and then twice, and then you can kind of use the paper instead of your fingers. So now you won't be able to see it super well on camera. I've got 4 little sticks, and you're just gonna glue them back together without getting your hands covered in butter. So you've got your little logs. Go ahead and cut those into little cubes and add it right into your sugar, and then scrape off all that butter. Grab a fork and just start mixing it up. I think on Friday I'm going to be making my pickle pizza recipe, which is also at the Minnesota State Fair, I must say. Okay, this is coming together great. You just kind of want to mash the butter into like little pea sizes, but it's going to look kind of like magnetic sand in a way. See that? It can all kind of like stick together. That's what we're looking for. Grab your apples, and then we simply just pour it over. I'm one of those people who I like more crumble is like the best, in my opinion. Okay, looks phenom. Add this to a 350 degree oven. It's been a couple of hours and it's nice and golden brown. So I've let it cool to an extent so it's still kind of warm. I'm gonna cut myself a slice.